I'm Chuck.
And Deb.
And welcome to Biker Life Radio. We're so truly grateful and thankful that you've joined us today. We've got a fantastic show lined up just for you.
Biker Life Radio is for those who ride and those who inspire to ride. We are here to reveal the truth behind the motorcycle mystique and bring real-life stories of the biker lifestyle.
Fantastic. And let's acknowledge our sponsor today.
Today's show sponsor is Tony and Guy Hairdressing Academy out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. So if you are ready to crank up your engines, put your chins in the wind, knees in the breeze, and seats in the saddle, hang on and let's get rolling.
Let's crank it up, Deb. But before we get started, I know you got a full show lined up. I just want to say I'm grateful to be here today.
I am grateful that you're here today as well.
Yeah, I had something really strange happen to me today. After, exercising a little bit, I had this weird thing going on that happened on the left side of my head, like my brain area, my head.
I don't think we're done with it yet, so... Yeah, okay.
So it's on the left side of my head, and it was this pain, but it's not inside the head, and it really made me feel like really tired, like.
But you had other symptoms. You were nauseous.
Yeah, I was sort of nauseous. I'm not sure about the lightheaded. Maybe a little bit, not so much, but definitely nauseous. I'm still a little bit nauseous. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I did take a couple of aspirin, and it seems to have gotten just a little bit better.
Okay.
So we'll have to see how things go, but it's a little bit strange. I don't feel quite myself right now, and so hopefully it gets better, and hopefully I'll be here next week too. But just something strange going on. I, of course, did a lot of research to try to figure it out, but I don't have symptoms of a stroke or anything like that at this point. But it's just one of those things, it bothers me a little bit, Deb, because I don't know when to go to the hospital or not. And I don't like going to the hospital or even the doctor if I don't have to.
Correct.
It's just, I think it's a man thing, honestly.
I do too. And you are reluctant to just, like you said, go to the doctor, so let alone the hospital. And I can't help with when and where to go. You just got to tell me if you really feel that it's an emergency that you need to do that. Well, but I'm not sure really what we would experience there right now either. That's for me on this side of it. I wouldn't know.
That I'm not too concerned about that. Mine is more, I don't want to go there and waste money and they're going to say nothing's wrong with you.
Well,
it's like, and then on the other side of the coin is what?
Yeah, I don't want something major to be happened.
If I don't go, maybe I'm preventing something worse from happening.
Correct.
So here I am doing the show instead. Hopefully this will pass. I'll just feel like I'm a superhero, and I will take care of it in my own way.
All right, so your Med 101 books didn't come in handy today.
No, I did take Pre-Med 101, and that does come in handy almost on a daily basis. And I did my research very thoroughly,
right,
and found that I don't have the symptoms, but I might not have been looking at the right ailment.
Correct.
Is that the right word?
Right diagnosis?
Well, the diagnosis is you have to know what you got to get diagnosed, right?
I guess.
Maybe you're right.
You're a doctor.
Maybe you're right. No, I didn't say I was a doctor. I took Pre-Med 101.
Yeah.
I took a lot of 101 classes. That's how I got to be on the podcast today.
That's right. It's
Podcasting 101. Speaking of podcasting, let's just go there for a second.
Okay.
Joe Rogan.
Yes.
$100 million to be on Spotify alone.
Is that not ridiculously crazy or what?
I think it's the coolest thing ever. What a way to make a move. Most people will probably pay to be on Spotify, and he gets paid to be on Spotify. $100 million.
Woohoo.
Multi-year contract or something like that. I don't know the details. I saw a little bit of blurb about it real quick today. So congratulations, Joe Rogan.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll get you on the show, Joe, or maybe you can want to pull us up and we could be on your show.
No maybes about it. Let's just make it happen. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. We'll work on it.
All right.
We'll have to find out if Joe rides a bike.
That's exactly right. So if not, if he's done it at any point in his life, at any time in his life, then we can certainly have conversations about it.
Yeah.
But, there's lots of other things that we can talk about too.
Well, I'm all up for that.
Okay.
So what do you got? Let's go, because my head just sort of got a little weird. Of course, that's the way I get every time I look at you anyway.
I know, a little weirded out. So anyway, moving on, I want to talk about our question of the week. So this week, for those that have joined us on our Facebook page, I put a question of the week out, which is simply, if you had one bucket list ride that was still on the bucket list, where would you go? What would it be? And we had a blow-up ton of responses, which I loved. So, some of these we've done, some of them we haven't, some of them are still on our list as well, and I wanted to just kind of bring that to light. So, several people, Ron Zimmer said Through the Redwoods, and that's whole Sturgis concept. Yes, is that the same
Redwoods
general?
is California.
Oh.
The big redwood trees, the huge trees. I think Kevin's actually been there.
Northern California.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, with the big redwoods. Oh, imagine riding through that with those trees. Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
I would want to definitely do that ride.
So that
would be
list.
fantastic. I would just, oh man. I love trees anyway.
Yes.
So to see those gigantic trees, it would be really cool. And then to ride through a forest of them.
Right.
That's good stuff.
I can almost even just feel it already. Isn't that crazy?
No, that's a good thing. You want to feel it because, it's going to happen, right?
Absolutely right.
Can you smell the trees? Can you smell the freshness?
I can smell the freshness. I can. That's what I'm feeling. It's just like, I'm just a wide open road and these big, huge, monstrous trees. Man, man.
Sort of like when we're riding out east and we smell those strawberries from time to time.
Right, exactly. It's all about the experience. So Terry Stevens said that she wanted to go to Sturgis.
Yep.
Margie Howell said Route 66, which is another one on the list. We've got a good friend of ours that's talked about a route for that, Route 66.
And I think they do tours. Somebody does tours of that. I'm not sure if Eagle Rider does it. Is Eagle Rider, is that what it's called for Harley? That does the rental bikes now?
They do the rental bikes.
They do tours.
Yeah. Okay.
So they might even, I think they do. I'm pretty sure, at least a while back, I saw that they did some tours. They might even have a tour for Route 66.
Yeah, absolutely right. So, and then, of course, her husband, Don, which is the rider of the motorcycle, wants to go coast to coast. So I can see them going coast to coast and making Route 66 as part of their coast to coast travel.
The coast to coast is definitely, I'd be all into that.
Yep.
And you hear a lot of stories about people riding from coast to coast, in New York to Los Angeles and things like that. And oh boy, what a ride that would be, just to be able to get out and just do it. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, me too. I cannot wait. So Gerardo Barasout, and I apologize, said Sturgis, which is one on our list too.
Yep.
And as far as we know, the Sturgis is still on for this year. So we haven't heard any different yet. So that could possibly be reached this year for him.
That'd be great.
Others.
And maybe we'll make it this year, Deb.
That's right.
It's July. It's August,
it's
right?
August, right?
It's August.
It's August, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we do have some plans that we're not revealing to everybody right now at this time.
No.
But it might fall in line with some of our plans.
Yes, it might. So I'm looking forward to that. But I know the one thing that you have always wanted to do is actually ride to Sturgis.
Yeah, it's about a ride.
It's about the ride there and back. But
But the way things are going, we should have plenty of time. I don't think that's going to be an issue.
That's true.
Before we talked about we need at least 3 weeks.
Right.
At least 3 weeks to do it right.
That was stretching it. Now what does 3 weeks really mean? Nothing.
Yeah. So.
All right. So RJ Alessi, which has his ride and shine business in the local area, said Sturgis and coast to coast. So he's bundling them together. But here's the one advice I can say to RJ. He needs to get a handle on this gas. Because the stories of running out of gas twice, not once, but twice. RJ,
that's right.
You've got to get a grip on that gas situation.
Because you might, well, you know what? He doesn't have to quite worry about it because if you'll remember, Michelle Barks, right?
Yes.
She pointed out that there's groups that you can join that are actually stationed out. So on these road trips, you want to, you could join those groups where people are all across the country, sort of like the West Coast Florida Riders that, that's why I bring it up, because they helped him. So now if he's out on the road and he gets involved with these groups that have people along the route.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
And if he does run out of gas again, he can have some people help because that's why they're part of the group, is that they're going to be there to help the other bikers. And we'll probably need to do the same, so let's make a mental note of that as well, Deb.
And I recently found a group on Facebook, just to divert for a minute. It's a Bunka Biker, and it's a group where if you are doing travels like that and you don't necessarily have a hotel or a place to stay, that whoever may have availability, one can put a tent in the backyard for you or give a room to you. I think it's a really cool concept.
I thought it was a neat idea. I'm a little bit of a private person, so it would probably, I'd have to be in the right situation. I don't know, it'd be be a little strange. It was like that Airbnb that we did when we went to Daytona.
Right.
That's exactly, it would be like that.
Similar to that. Yeah, but you're actually
except you probably are going to be required to interface with people. And listen to me talk.
Too.
Interface.
I know. It's all about behind the scenes for you.
And for me, I'm not big on the interface stuff.
Right. So, all right. I loved Dennis Allen's response to the question. He wants to go to Dalton, Alaska, or Dempster, Canadian Yukon, and I'm like, why not both? Just put them both on the list and make sure that they both happen. So that sounds like a great trip too.
Say it again.
Dalton, Alaska, or he said Dempster, Canadian Yukon. Interesting. Yep. So up there in the
definitely
area.
We've got some friends that have done Alaska, and they've talked.
Right.
Those are some stories that we heard from them.
Yes.
And Alaska would definitely be on a bucket list for sure to check it out.
Right. And then we've also have friends that have done, parts of Canada and things too. So definitely I think we can't go wrong with either one of those destinations. Frankie Winter agreed with Route 66. And Michelle Barks, which is up in that Canadian tundra, wants to head down south through Washington State, Texas, and Florida. So we have to make sure we connect with her when she's down in this area. And then ride the East Coast back up to Canada and then trek across. So, because she's on the far western side of Canada. And I think that's kind of a cool ride, too. It would be very different than us that are U.S. based.
No doubt.
Wanda Huggins, if I'm saying that right, wants to do the Pacific Coast Highway. And not being from California, I'm actually right on the money with that one, too. Want to do that highway ride.
Yeah, that would be a wonderful ride. What ride wouldn't be? But yeah, these are great. You got more?
Absolutely. So Janie Shalafo said her first ride, and I think that's pretty amazing. I was trying to encourage her. If she's not a rider quite yet and is inspired to ride, then by all means, jump on there, get to a class, find a way to ride, and you will not regret it, I don't think.
I doubt it. She's going to love it.
Yeah.
Fall in love with it.
She will fall in love with it. I agree.
Freedom.
Yep. So Tim Johnson... And I'm going to throw Kelly Bove something in there too, but they both said Tail of the Dragon. Now, we've done the Tail of the Dragon a couple of times, and it is not one to take lightly. So it's very serious riding, very serious curves. Was a blast, though. I've been a passenger and I've been a rider on that, and I would do it again, but there's so many places I want to see. I'll do seconds around next time. Yeah,
Tail of the Dragon is great. It's like one of those things you just have to check off the list.
Correct.
I remember when we went, and you were on the back at that time, I didn't really think anything of it. And I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. And then I remember going back to the hotel room and looking it up on YouTube.
Right.
And then I was awoken. I was like, are you kidding me? Because of all the accidents and things like that. And actually, the first time that we were there, here's a little tip for you guys that as you go up there, if you haven't been there, or, just riding in general, is to make sure your head and your eyes are going where you want to go. Because, Deb, you remember when we first started and we see somebody that's taking pictures.
There's a photographer.
And we want to smile for the camera. But guess what? They're right on a curve.
Yes, absolutely.
So if I continue to look at the guy like I'm going to get my big ham head in this photograph, and I got to turn, and I woke up then. I was like, don't be messing around.
It was time to pay attention.
So be sure that you don't pay attention to the photographers, and you can find out where the pictures are because they will have pictures and they got websites and all that stuff.
Right.
So you can get pictures of you going. We've got one that's displayed here in the house that we keep up from that ride when the two of us were on it.
Yes,
and it was a great trip. It was a great time. There are a lot. In my opinion, a lot of other better rides that are up there, like that Johnson City. Is it?
Yeah,
Johnson.
Yep, the Cherahalla is a good one too.
That was an interesting one for me.
Yeah, the whole Greenway, and I know I'm losing track of what that is. So up in the mountain area, so it's beautiful riding up there in all sorts of different places. But yeah, the Tail of the Dragon's kind of one of those monumentals that you've got to do. You got to mark it off the list thing. But again, there's so many areas to ride, good, beautiful riding. I have a tough time going back to the same place over and over, but that's the way I am in life. I want to see it all.
We gotta, exactly.
Yeah, so Tim and Callie, be sure, just ride your ride. They will get amazing photos of you. Just don't let them kind of distract you from the road. I thought Will's was funny. Will N said, with what's going on in the times today, he just wants to go around the block.
That's true. That's true.
Yep. And then Nikki Escasanis, I'm going to say that. I'm going to probably do that not so good. But Nikki said they want to adventure ride around the world.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Nikki was funny because they said, they only wish. And, well, make it come true. Because I'm starting to talk and connect with enough people that have just kind of thrown caution to the wind and just did it. And the amazing stories and the amazing experiences and what came out of it from life after that was just phenomenal. So if those are dreams, those are on the list, make them happen. And I know that we have a lot of plans coming up to do just that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, to ride an adventure bike now, I will be honest, okay? I would be apprehensive about it, okay?
But why? Tell me more about
just
that
because
apprehension.
I'm not in control. I'm in a strange place, strange environment, so... because not being in a place is just different. Other than that, the adventure riding and all that, because I saw the one show that they had to go through. They had to go through the border crossings, and they had to worry about places to stay and, whether or not, they got the right credentials and all that kind of stuff. That, rather than just the freedom of living here in the United States and be able to travel to and fro where we want without any hindrance, essentially. It's a little bit different traveling around the world.
That's true.
But at the same time, my apprehension is there. I would still welcome it because could you imagine? I mean, what fun!
Yeah.
And you'd take a lot of energy to do it. But that's a grand one there. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just finished reading a book called Two Up and Overloaded, and we're going to get that author on the book on the show in the future. And it was a phenomenal expression of their trip, and they went from the Detroit area down through all of South America, and it was just a phenomenal. And you're right, there is so much more to think about when you're doing a trip.
It's huge
like that. And actually, I think that they said that there were 3.5 years of planning, the work that went into it. So you don't just jump into it lightly without knowing kind of what you may be facing and having strategies and plans in place to help guide you through that for sure.
Yeah. So it'd be definitely fun. Just being on an adventure bike would be a great time. I would love just to get out and do that now.
I know. I keep telling you that
probably
we just
get
need
me
to
in shape if I was able to do that. I might drop this 30 pounds that I lost. Gained.
Yeah.
Whatever I've been doing.
Right. So, and I've been mentioning that we maybe should just do that on one of our days or afternoons or something. Is just go down to the local dealership and ride one and just get the experience. Because I do too. I want to jump on one and ride it and see how different it would be from, the Harleys that we ride all the time.
It might be worthwhile to see if they have some places where we could just rent it, and then they have a place you can ride it and check it out. Because to go down to the dealership and do it is not going to be the same if you can't go off-road.
Right.
In other words,
true.
if you can rent it and go off-road, and then have good insurance because, you might drop it.
Well, sure, you're probably
like that one
gonna
show.
drop
I
it a
can't
lot.
remember the show with the pastor right now.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it either.
Too bad I don't have a very good memory. I'll have to work on that.
I just ran across that earlier because we didn't have anyone give us feedback about actually watching that movie, which was Phantom Lake.
That's it. Phantom Lake.
Phantom Lake. So if you haven't caught it, go out there and watch Phantom Lake. It was a great movie about an adventure ride trip. It was a series, but kind of documentary type, but it was phenomenal. So if you have, please go out, check it out, and then get with us and let us know what you think about it, because we do still want to talk to people that have had an opportunity to take a look at that Phantom Lake.
That's very good. And speaking of letting us know, we have a link, and with this brain thing going on, Deb, I'm a little bit concerned.
Okay,
I'm just not able to remember, because at the chuckndebbshow.com/talk.
Yep.
That's what it was, talk. Chuck and Deb Show /talk, or just go to chuckndebbshow.com, and there are buttons that you can click and leave us a voicemail message, is essentially what it is, an audio recording of whatever you want, and we will try to get it on the show. So if you have something that you want to leave or something that you want on the show, how about an event? You want to tell us about an event? Then go out to the chuckndebbshow.com. Go ahead and record it right on your phone. As long as the audio and everything checks out good, we'll get it on the show. And so anything that's coming up, anything you want to share, a story you want to tell us, that's one way to get it to us, and we'll be able to share it with the entire world.
Absolutely
so
right.
Just take advantage of that. That's what it's there for. It's there so that we can hear from you and have you included in on our podcast. We want you to be a part of the podcast. And we're going to be doing some more interviews down the road, Deb. We've got some people that we're going to get lined up. We've sort of taken a break recently because we've been working on a lot of other projects, but we're going to get back in and get some people on so that we can interview, because we've got some good people we want you to meet.
Yes.
But in the meantime, use that feature, chuckandebshow.com. If you wanted to do the /talk, you could, but otherwise, I remember I did put it up everywhere pretty much on the website. If you go to the front page, it's there.
Oh, right. Wonderful. Well, I do also want to make sure that we talk about the Talimena Rally, because that will be starting today. I know registration starts at 3 o'clock. This is a sore spot
I was
for
going to
me.
say, this really bums you out, and I'm the one to blame.
No. What's interesting is that they worked very diligently in Texarkana and Arkansas to get this state to open up enough so that they could still host this event. And they did. What their requirements are, though, is a maximum of 50 people in any group. The hotels have been very strictly discussed. No one can check in early. You can't linger in the lobbies waiting it. So when you check in is at 3, you cannot show up before 3. And they were very clear about that message. But what's important about this is it is all about raising money for the cancer for children at St. Jude's. And, I'm so excited. We sent a happy surprise package over to Neil Jones, which is the organizer, him and his wife, Carol, for the event. And so just wanted to be as involved as we can without physically being there, but we just couldn't make the trip at this time.
We did plan, or Deb had planned.
I had planned, yeah.
Deb had planned for us to be there. We should be on the road right now.
Yeah, we should be almost arriving.
There, right? So Neil, thanks a lot for the invite. Thanks for everything. We wish you a lot of luck and success. And everybody and everything turns out good and goes safe, and you raise a lot of money for St. Jude's. And we really do wish we could have been there.
Absolutely.
We've got some things that we have to take care of. Responsibilities present themselves first, and that's foremost in what we need to do. But we'll try to be there next year for sure.
Yep, it's on the calendar.
And then we might even see you in July or August, or who knows?
Right, exactly.
Who knows what's going on in the future? We're sorry that we're missing the event.
Yeah, we met a new biker friend remotely. And so the cool thing is that I've asked Neil, even after the event, is first of all, be sure and post lots of pictures, as well as, and Jim Boothman's been great. I just have to mention Jim too. He is a regular that attends the rally, and he heard about the fundraising we were doing here, the Chuck-n-Deb show, and us personally were doing raising funds. And I just want to announce that due to Jim and his earmarked additional gift towards our giving, we actually exceeded. I had a goal of 1,000. We remarked it, and my end goal came to $600, and we actually met it and exceeded it by $10. So we were able to raise here in our local area $610 for St. Jude's for this particular event. And then what we did with everyone that gave is we actually prepared a dinner for the emergency workers going through the COVID right now. So we did lots of dinners that we delivered to hospitals, as well as the county sheriffs in 2 different counties we shared those meals with as well. So I was excited to send him that grand total, and I thank you, Jim, for helping us exceed that goal of our $600. So I just want to give a big shout out to Jim, and they're both going to give us some feedback about the event that we will certainly pass along and share with all of our guests and listeners.
Right on, Jim Boothman. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And thank you all, everyone else that donated. I know there's a long list of you, and
yes.
We sincerely appreciate it. As you know, it did go to some good causes because none of the money came to us whatsoever.
Not a bit.
So we really appreciate that. Our listeners really stepped up and really helped out our friends, and we're really, truly grateful and thankful for all of you for supporting that. It was really good to be able to actually be able to give in that situation.
Yes.
So makes me happy.
Yep, not knowing whether or not the event was going to go on, and I know Neil was like holding on to hope.
Yes,
He was not willing to concede to the fact that it wasn't going to take place.
That's right. When you look up the dictionary, hope, well, I guess his picture would be in there.
Yeah, hope and persistence. directions.
That's
you know,
right.
he was
Yep.
definitely staying
And
the
salesman,
course.
too. He would be all through the dictionary, I guess.
Yeah, Neil's a great guy, and so we just can't wait to actually
us that
meet him
check.
face to face. Yep. So it is on the calendar for next year. It is our goal to plan to be there and to participate again and help to support that event. So it's a great event.
All right. Well, we probably should wrap things up, Deb, unless you have anything else.
Nope, that was the things that I thought were really key to talk about. We have not been out riding ourselves, but it's on the list.
We're about ready to.
It's on the
I'm telling
list.
you.
I know we
as
are
long as
both
my
needing.
head gets back where it needs
Yeah, I
to be.
need to kind of get you safe on ground before I put your leg over the motorcycle. So, but we're talking about different trips and different things and where to go and what to do. But we just want to make sure and wish everyone a very happy Memorial Day holiday next Monday. And, enjoy your time with friends and family as close as you can under the current circumstances. But enjoy that holiday in remembrance of all of those.
That's right. Make the best of it. And I was going to say something, and because I forgot. So say something, Deb.
All right. So we just want to make sure.
Oh, that's what it is.
Okay. Yes.
We need your help.
Yes, we do.
We need your help. We need your help, please. So what we'd like you to do is if you could go out to iTunes and if you could leave us a review. I don't care if it's good, bad, or anything. Leave us a review. And I'm not just talking about clicking the stars. I'm talking about clicking and leaving a message, okay,
right, exactly.
of some sort. Review us, okay? If you think we need to do better, then tell us. Please tell us.
Yes.
Okay, if you think we need to talk about some things that you'd like to hear about, please tell us that as well. And also be sure to subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher or any other podcast platforms, because that can help us get our message out, help us get in touch with more people that want to and are related to the things that we like to talk about.
Right.
And we've got a lot of things that are coming up in the future that hopefully everybody's going to be wanting to check out.
That's right.
And we're going to create some different things that are coming up. So please hang in there. Please support us. We really appreciate it very much.
That's absolutely right. So you can find us at chuckndebbshow.com. And as Chuck mentioned, please be sure to visit iTunes and or Stitcher or whatever platform you listen to podcasts on. Like, subscribe, and please leave us a review.
And don't forget the Facebook page.
That's right.
You can do
Facebook
Biker
page.
Life Radio and the Chuck-n-Deb Show. All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. I'm Chuck.
And Deb.
And thank you so much for listening. We'll look forward to talking to you next week. Take care, everybody.
See you again soon.
Some people think I should have never let you in, but they were lost around here. The more they talk, the less they know where to begin. I've never seen it so clear. I'm holding on to you. Now I've got nothing left to lose.
Hi, Rider Coach Deb here. Just wanted to take a quick minute and share with you something that I have found that is a phenomenal safety item that every rider that rides with a helmet will want to have for their own safety and protection on the road. It's called the InView Wireless Brake and Turn Signal Light. It's designed to attach to your helmet, as I mentioned, and it syncs up directly with your brake lights and turn signals so that the car drivers that just seem to miss the signals that we put on will now be able to see it because it's right at eye level on your helmet. They're designed with ultra bright LEDs. As I mentioned, it is programmable and it works in conjunction with your brake lights and turn signals from the motorcycle. It's very easy to install and simple to use. So if you would like to find out more and get information about the InView, be sure and visit chuckndebbshow.com/InView, and in the ordering process, put in coupon code BikerLife. Again, chuckndebbshow.com/InView, and utilize coupon code BikerLife to get a great discount on the InView.